or inexpensive liners made for large tanks, the bricks and the paving stones are all reclaimed materials bought at a fraction of the price you'd have to pay in a shop. Even the rocks for the rockery, half of them came from a relation's fireplace that he knocked down and was going to throw away. The main large fish pond at the bottom of the garden that already existed was only about a foot deep, wasn't holding water, hadn't been built very well, and the clay hadn't been puddled up the sides. The island was a nuisance, and it was just a marsh, a good idea for mosquitoes, but with no fish because the herons had already come and cleared it out, with it being so shallow. So the digger driver was going to have to dig the whole of this out, use some of the clay that's in the bottom of the pond around the edge of our boundaries, and then use the rest to puddle up the sides of the pond as he dug it deeper. Felix the cat became a new addition to our family from a local refuge centre. It's as if he's already been here for most of his life, just settled in straight away and loves it. Here you see the chainsaw carved fish that I brought from the Paradieu, placed onto the top of that tree stump which had died off. All of the rose arches you see here are prefabricated and are quite reasonably priced at about £5 a piece in light tubular steel. I just hope they survive the strong winds. A previous dog kennel cage was turned into another bird run, and a wasted piece of land at the side we turned into the chicken run area. Grow bags and plant trays were soon put into the little new greenhouse, or an old shed, wood shed, and we soon had small plants growing there. Yeah, looking.
Yes, you do. It's easy. Turn its head off.
Now back to our designs for the paths and the arches and rose arch and rose pagoda. You can see here we've actually curved the path slightly to break up the constant line and give a greater feeling of perspective and distance. Hopefully for your interest, here are the stages in producing this path and little garden. All it will need now is lots of peat and manure dug into it, and of course the various plants. And I do emphasise it's all been done on a shoestring budget. Jolly good, 2 eggs today. We have an incubator on the go here now as well, and in it a mixture of turkey eggs, bantam eggs and various chicken eggs that we've got locally. Unfortunately the turning mechanism has gone bust, and we're having to turn it by hand 3 times a day. It only means a matter of just pushing the tray across and all of the eggs turn over completely. They seem to be doing alright. I tested 2 recently, they were fertile. So this will give us our next few years birds with a bit of luck, maybe even some Christmas turkeys as well. The plants in the greenhouse continue to grow, and I've even put some mushroom spores into the horse manure underneath the tables here. It hasn't taken the wildlife very long to get used to us, and soon the birds, the pigeons, the blackbirds and so on were coming in and pecking away at the bits of seed, sand and gravel, and also having a good drink and bath in the stream and the pools. The new small koi have also settled in and are now feeding on pellets. Had a problem at first because the pond pump was sucking them up, and at £10 a time that's too expensive. So I've covered the pond pump in 2 plastic baskets and metal grilling, which stops any fish from being sucked in now, and will also protect the small baby goldfish that I'm going to get. A load of turfs have been removed to make a main veg garden, which we can grow broad beans and peas in, because the raised beds are a bit too small for that. Now let's go over to the pond, because it's now full, as full as we're going to get it, and we'll have to see if it holds water. I've put a little bit of withy here to mark where the water's edge is, and we'll see if it goes down. Of course, a bit of withy might start growing, and we'll plant it further along the pond. Trout are doing alright, still seem to be alive, see them rising. There's one just come up there. Also planted the whole area with grass seed as well, so all this clay and soil hopefully will become green and more natural in a few weeks' time. Birds are now using these nests, so we'll see if we can get a little shot of them coming in and out at some stage.
I need to go across.
Right. You're holding on. Whoa, you got to watch because the sea moves.